5:30. Are we on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you would all please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have had a chance to look at the minutes from the August 26th meeting and the September 8th special meeting. See if I have any questions or comments about the minutes from these two respective meetings. Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Fiscal officer report, Linda?
Just wanted to read in the record that the board has received and staff have received the revenue and appropriation status reports as well as the fund status report. And as of today, we have $10,913,855.19 in our checking and investment accounts. And I do expect our second half settlement check to hit the next 7 days.
Very good. And we also have the current bills to pay. We have had a chance to take a look at the current bills. Anybody have any questions? Any comments about current bills? Is there a motion to pay?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we have under special activity. Anything else on this? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Under special activities, we have some oaths of office to administer for Naveed Khan, Alexander Brom, Eric Neal, and Bradley Lutke.
Jason Tyson.
Jason. It's not on here.
I
Want to read that name as well, Mr. Wade?
Ah, okay. And
It was a
Jason.
We were going to tell you. You're a big guy.
We were discussing with Jason.
Welcome and goodbye.
Get him up front and make sure he does.
Yeah.
Shouldn't use the one that.
You guys trying to get it on tape?
Probably not. Yeah.
If y'all would come forward.
Just right now. This way.
Yeah, if anybody wants to take pictures, come on up.
Give us just a second.
We're missing
Already
one.
lost one of our
Yeah,
hires.
that's,
He just ran out the door.
it is bad.
His wife.
Well, I might need an oath of office.
You guys can go on that side. And
Ladies,
Maybe. Thank you.
Hey, feel free to move wherever you want to take
Yeah,
pictures.
The best angle's right up here.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Come on up.
Sorry, Steve, I stole your phone.
Okay.
Okay, gentlemen, if you would, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, and state your name,
I, Jason Neal,
do solemnly swear I will support the Constitution
do solemnly swear to support the Constitution
of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the resolutions adopted by the Clearcreek Township Board of Trustees,
the resolutions adopted by the Board of Clearcreek Township Trustees,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties as a firefighter paramedic
the duties as a firefighter paramedic
for Clearcreek Township Fire District,
for Clearcreek Township Fire District,
Clearcreek Township, Warren County, Ohio,
Clearcreek Township, Warren County, Ohio,
during continuance of my lawful employment.
during the continuance of my lawful employment.
Very good. Congratulations.
All right. As is customary with our department, we'll ask that the person they've identified come up and pin them at this time. We'll spread out a little bit, get plenty of pictures. It doesn't have to be a big rush or anything, but if you're part of us, well,
Yeah, you can turn around
to our
towards the
family.
audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, turn around out there, whoever you'd like to put your pins on, put your badges, please do so.
If you don't get it right away, we'll get a picture in a second.
I see your best.
Once you guys have them all, we'll get one picture in the back here real quick. They've got only 4 more weeks at the fire school, and then they'll be out in company, helping protect the citizens of both Clearcreek and the city of Spring Grove. So we look forward to having them, and congratulations, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Next item on the agenda is the 2015 Chief Dix Chenault Fire Service Excellence Award presentation. Lieutenant Josh Scott. If you would come forward, Josh.
Lieutenant? What I'll do is, I'm going to read some of the excerpts from the nomination we received from Lieutenant Scott. He'll be able to figure out who this is fairly quickly, if he doesn't already know. The person writes, since I've been placed under the tutelage of Lieutenant Scott, I feel that I've been transformed both personally and professionally. It is well known that I had struggled early on in my full-time career. I was having confidence and competence issues during my first few months of probation. I was at risk of being fired. The decision was made to place me under the supervision and guidance of Lieutenant Scott. My life was at a crossroads both personally and professionally. I was about to lose all that I had worked for. Lieutenant Scott took me under his wing and set me on a path to success. He showed amazing leadership and a genuine interest in my success. He came up with a plan for my success, which included intense training in all aspects of fire service, as well as physical fitness. I found motivation through a desire to never let him down. He's the kind of leader you would run through a brick wall for. He deflected all accolades in words of appreciation. He constantly simply stated, I handed you the keys and you went from there. It's why he was nominated for this award and why he was selected this year. And Rob, why don't you come up and put his pen on? Just stick it in. You don't need backers.
Thank you.
Excellent work, Lieutenant.
Okay, we do have another item under special. You all are welcome to leave, but if you're also welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. We'll take just a minute while Guys, if anybody here would know who Mike is? I think you got a pretty good idea. We do have Judge Mike Gilb here, and Mike, if you'd like to come up and say.
Sure.
Thanks for coming.
I thought it was a well-attended meeting.
It
I've been
was.
scrambling around the county trying to meet with all the trustees. My name is Mike Gill. I'm the new common police court judge, and I just want to come out and let you know who I am say hello. But like I said, I've been traveling around the county, meeting all the trustees and city councils all over the county, and this is the most well-attended meeting that I've been to.
For 5 minutes.
For the first 5 minutes.
That's right, that's right. But I started out studying to be a priest way back when in high school. I was in high school seminary over in Mount Healthy, Ohio, St. Francis Seminary High School, and was on the road to the priesthood until I came home for the summer between the sophomore and junior year of high school and met the young lady that's now been my wife for 34 years. But I actually went back to the seminary junior year of high school, and they called me in the office about mid-November, and they said, Mike, you got to make a decision tonight, either to leave your girlfriend or leave the school, because you can't be a priest and have a girlfriend. It's not going to work that way. So I called my mom and said, Mom, come pick me up, and finished up at public high school in Green Hills. So I was born and raised in Green Hills, Ohio, and finished up at Green Hills High School, went on to UC, and obtained a 4-year degree in law enforcement. I was going to be a police officer for a number of years, and was in the hiring process for the Cincinnati Police Force. My wife and I were getting married, and I went to see an advisor at UC about graduating early and getting out of school, getting on the police force and starting to work. And he stopped me and said, Mike, you need to go to law school. And I said, law school? You got to be smart to go to law school, and I'm not a 4-point student here at UC. But he said, here's the application for the law school admission exam. It's going to be by midnight tonight if you're going to do this. The test is in 3 weeks. So I went home and filled it out, sent it in, took the test. A year later was at Ohio Northern University and finished up 3rd in my class out of 185 students. So I certainly went back to that professor and thanked him for pushing me in a direction that I really had not intended to pursue on my own. And practiced 15 years in a local law firm, doing general legal practice, and then was elected a state representative, served in Columbus as a state representative for 3 terms from 2001 to 2007. Got out of the State House, came to Mason, Ohio, and got on Mason City Council for a couple terms, and then got involved with Mason Municipal Court as a mediator and a visiting magistrate. And when this opportunity opened up in Common Pleas Court, I agreed to step, and the governor saw favorably to put us in this position. So I just wanted to come out, let you know who I am and what my background is, and if anybody has any questions about me or the court, I've been sitting on the bench since July 1st, so it's been an interesting 60 days. I've been through a couple of jury trials already, and some people off to prison already. It's been a learning experience, but Judge Flannery was my predecessor, and he let me shadow him around a couple of days as I moved onto the bench. He did a good job of deluging all of his knowledge and wisdom. But the most important thing he gave me was his cell phone number, which I had used on a couple of occasions to lean on him for some guidance. But Judge Oda has been helpful, Judge Peeler has been helpful, and I look forward to serving as a member of the court, and want to let you know who we are. But if there's any questions, I'd be glad to address them for you and
Anybody have any questions for the judge?
Very good, thanks.
We appreciate you coming by.
Very good.
Thank you.
Have a great meeting. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Okay, anything under unfinished business? Okay, under new business administration, we have auction items approval, 3 police cruisers, an ambulance, fire engine, fire rescue truck.
You have a list submitted, and I need to make sure that reflects the list, which isn't 3 police cruisers, it's 2 police cruisers, one being a vehicle, a Charger, and one being an Expedition. And earlier in the year, there was a resolution passed which authorized using the online auction as a resource to deal with our assets. So, and when I talked to Brian, all that we needed to do was confirm these would be items we dispose of, but we've already approved the auction format. So this is simple agenda action to approve. So it's actually two police vehicles, and then the fire, the ambulance, the engine, and the rescue truck.
When we put these vehicles on, do you put a minimum on there? Do we have a reserve?
Well, we did, the cruisers we did last year, they brought in anywhere from 6,500 to a little over 7,000, which was pretty good, I thought. So no, we don't have a floor. With the one fire engine, we're putting a reserve of 49,000 on it because it does have some decent value. The others we are not, because they didn't have trade value, and they just need to be disposed of properly. We don't have anything else to do with them.
Which one of them? Which one is the fire?
403, the second one listed.
Yeah,
126,000 miles.
2002.
And the chief has explored some other avenues to deal with fire trucks. There's some firms that specialize in that, but they do an auction format too, so it seemed like let's take a shot at what we do normally and just put a reserve on the thing.
Is there an appraised value for these vehicles? I mean, can we get an appraised, I'm with you, it concerns me, because I've seen a lot of things on gundeals.com go for $6, just because nobody's paying attention. Now, I know our cruisers went high, but that's because BCI bought all of them to use for training. So they wanted all of our cruisers last year, so they bought them all at one time. So.
I thought individuals bought the cruisers last year.
No, BCI did.
BCI, last year we had some guy from Florida bidding on one.
I know BCI did, because I had to work with this woman up there at the PO to get everything the way she wanted it.
But sure that wasn't the year before.
Could have been.
Because we had a guy from
My
Florida
memory's
came up and
terrible.
bought 2 cars.
Okay.
On this last.
I know in the last couple of years.
Because one guy backed out, and the guy from Florida was second in line for the bid, and we contacted him, and he took it for the next lowest price. And then there was another out-of-state individual bought, but the year before that, I think it was the first year we sold Chargers, BCI did buy all 3. So we've had 2 years of the Chargers, and we've got good prices in both years. About twice what we were getting before.
My concern isn't the Chargers, I think we will get, because Chargers can be taken down and driven on the road. It's the fire engines that I worry about, that we're gonna be giving them away for parts. You know, if somebody's not paying attention.
Yeah, I don't have any idea what well, obviously, we believe we've got the reserve of 49,000 on the 403. Okay.
The fire engine, we talked to a broker who does like a reverse auction with them. They estimated that we could get 49, I hope I have the number right, 49 to 69
Okay.
for the engine.
Okay.
They gave us about 25,000 less on the rescue, but I do not feel that's a realistic expectation for that vehicle.
So 25,000 or somewhat less, is that?
Or less.
And so you don't believe we can get that much?
I don't.
Do you think we could put a 15,000 reserve on it?
We could try, but I honestly don't think it'll sell. I mean, I would be very amazed.
Would you put a 10, 8?
10 I'd be okay with putting on it, so we could try to get something out of it.
Right.
That's really what my true desire is. That ambulance needs $7,500 in repairs.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to a $500,000 ambulance.
Yeah, we can't.
Ours are 200, and for 10 years is what we planned. This one is pushing well beyond its age, and we've been getting around 8 on unseen.
So you're saying it's only worth 8, so to put 7,500 in it?
So,
They won't even take it on trade-in.
Okay.
to be clear, on the medic, is that mileage accurate?
What's it say for mileage?
10,570?
No.
I was gonna say, there's no way that mileage is accurate after 14 years.
The rescue trucks, you guys know the rescue trucks mileage?
The rescue says not available.
It's not that high.
Oh, it's inaccurate because it didn't have an odometer for a while,
Okay.
for the rescue.
Yeah, the Freightliner, the medic.
We couldn't get parts for it.
It would, just for and I think
For a while we could.
if we look at the rescue, for instance, it would help us if we had what you went through on the just a document telling that story
Okay.
of how you came to reserve on the 49 on 403, and then where we didn't arrive on the other 2, just as a point of reference for us, because it is we've dealt with the cars many times, but this is obviously, and it doesn't happen on your side very often. So, at least with the larger units.
Very good.
So.
Did you want to try the 10,000 reserve on the rescue truck?
I don't think it'll hurt.
Yeah.
We can
If it
repost
doesn't
it
work,
later.
we can repost
Yeah,
it.
we can repost it with a lower reserve. Yeah.
I would. You know, if no one got a reserve on it, must be in really good shape.
Yeah. We already have one local company that has interest in the rescue truck.
Well, then put a reserve of 15 on it.
They also
That's how this works, Chief. What are you doing?
They also don't understand.
Can you you send something out to like the Warren County Fire Chiefs Association or all those organizations you belong to? Because they've gotta know, because we do take good care of our vehicles.
There's several that have expressed interest for us doing it for $1
I
and
see.
transferring title to them.
Well, I
They're not
bet.
very interested in
I'd be interested for $1.
purchasing for-
Yeah.
Is there a lot of that going on?
The kids play on for $1.
Okay.
We have swings at our house, but,
Fire
Yeah,
trucks.
we live on a farm, anything's.
That's right, I got room.
Farm.
So-
okay, can I clarify?
Yes.
We've got the reserve, 49,000 is shown on the sheet for the 403, the engine 403.
That's correct.
We're gonna do 10K for the rescue, 501.
Correct.
Ambulance, no reserve, cause it's needs
Repairs,
repairs and
yeah.
has about the same value.
Not gonna-
And the cars, do we wanna suggest a reserve or good letting, I mean,
I think we've had good luck with the cars, I don't think that.
yeah, I don't expect those to be a problem. They're,
No, I think the cars are gonna go well in the expedition, especially this time of year. What a great time to sell a 4-wheel drive.
okay, so the only addition to this sheet is the $10,000
501.
reserve on the rescue
On the
truck.
501.
Okay.
So I'd like to entertain a motion to put these 5 items on Gov Deals for auction, with the addition of putting a $10,000 reserve on the 501 rescue.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Very good. Anything else at this time, Jack? Under administration?
No, there was a clarification though. Brian pointed out in the minutes, going into executive session in the last meeting, there was
I thought we adjusted them before we.
did you, I gotta put my eyeballs on it. I forwarded you
Yeah,
something over the
on
weekend.
Friday.
You forwarded to me?
Where you,
It was the verbiage of when we went into executive
Right.
session.
It was just a small language change.
oh, yeah. Sorry, I didn't, you guys
I
rolled
didn't
through
get
the
it.
minutes and there's,
Yeah, it's,
Is it correct?
I can't find it, I'm sorry.
it's
the last paragraph
fourth-
before Mr. Wade recused.
yeah, it talks about a specific piece of property, but that wasn't the executive session. So you probably just need to go back and clarify in the minutes, then it was,
Pending,
I'd have to pull out the executive session,
pending or imminent litigation.
there you go.
Instead of, Pete,
Law director to schedule.
Concerning a specific piece of property.
Right.
We just need to make sure that.
But that was what was said in the meeting.
Well, the resolution said,
There wasn't a resolution at the time.
I reviewed it, I thought there was.
I think we
Yeah,
did
there
it
was a
later.
resolution.
Yeah, there was a resolution.
Okay.
So you want to adjust the minutes in reference to the
August 26th meeting.
August 26th meeting, to the reason that the minutes that previously stated that we were having an executive session was incorrect, and you want to change that to say what?
The executive session was convened for purposes of discussion pending and or imminent litigation.
Okay.
We've already accepted the minutes, Brian?
I think you can reopen them and move to amend them, and that
So-
would be a problem.
I just want to make sure that the minutes reflect what we want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to do it right now between administration, at the end of the administration? And we're going to say,
We're going to
Amend.
entertain a motion to reopen the item 2 on the agenda, approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And then we're going to ask to amend the minutes in reference to the executive session to change the language to, however, Brian's going to tell us
Yeah.
again,
To discuss pending or imminent litigation.
to discuss pending or imminent litigation. Is there a motion to approve that change to the minutes,
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. Next time I'll make sure I take a little more time before we approve the minutes. So we,
I was watching all the people coming in too,
Yeah.
so
Sorry.
frankly, I was distracted by everybody.
And I honestly
Much
assumed
my
that that
fault.
change was made before we got here, and I should have looked at it, so that's my bad.
yeah, we had,
Next time you need to send them to me and I will get that.
we had an email to that effect.
Yeah, we got an email.
So I thought it was changed.
I had forwarded Brian's out, I'd have to look, if I didn't put you on it, that was
Sorry about that.
my
I thought
mistake.
it was changed. Okay,
Sorry about that.
that's all right. Moving on. Okay. Options done. Police district. Chief. We have a resolution 4758, a resolution accepting a donation from Rocco Sarah
I don't know how to pronounce it all.
for the Clearcreek Township Fire District.
He came in to see Mr. Palmer for some reason, and in talking to Mr. Palmer, he decided to give money. And Sergeant Stacy went and met with him, he wanted to donate some money to the police department for something, so he went over to the general fund, National Night Out, and Safety Town, and he asked to donate $300 towards Safety Town. So we're appreciative of that, he wrote us a check, and I asked the board to accept that.
Very nice. Okay. Is there a motion to accept resolution 4758 and accept the donation?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Awfully nice. And we have the,
You already passed that 58 down.
Okay, yeah, he's okay.
Yes.
okay. Also under the police district, we have the Loeb Foundation 2006 grant application recommendation. Is there a motion to direct the chief to apply for the Loeb grant?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Also, we do have a monthly report. Chief, anything particularly you want to point out?
The only question about the report I can, just a tidbit over the weekend, we arrested a gentleman that broke into 3 homes. Had a terrifying moment for one of our citizens. He pulled in, stripped down to his boxer shorts, broke into a home, cut himself severely, left there, broke into another home. That resident held him at gunpoint and called the police. Calling the police and holding the gunpoint, that guy took off. The resident chose not to shoot him, and he broke into another home. As he was breaking into that home, we got there and caught him. So he's in jail, but a bit of a scare for some of our residents over the weekend that we got resolved. So,
Where did that take place?
it's up off of Bunnell Hill and Lionel. He ended up on Red Line, someplace on the last burglary where we caught him. So still not quite sure of the whole story there. He was at a party, and I'm sure there's probably something involved with his demeanor. So. Anything else about the report I'd be more happy to address?
If I have any questions for the chief about the report?
Chief, they've got copies of the.
Yeah, I was going to catch that last. If you want to.
Yep.
I got one other thing if you want to throw that in real quick.
Well, chief, do you have anything?
Yeah, I was waiting for that, sir. In the past couple of months, we've asked for some, as the Loeb request, asked to apply for some grants. We did receive some monetary awards from the Impaired Driving Enforcement Program. For the 2016 year, we will get $24,741.45. And for the Selective Traffic Enforcement Program, we will get $18,311.43. That will pay for the officers' overtime, and I believe that includes benefits to come in and work special details around the holidays, certain times, areas of the township where accidents are reoccurring. Unfortunately, to get these grants, you got to have some accident issues and unfortunately some deaths in Warren County's been faced in the last few years. So it's something we've gotten, I think, for the last 3 years. This is about $1,000 or $2,000 more than we got last year. So we did receive those. And on a third request, the VEST Partnership Program, government allows us to apply for a matching wage for providing officers bulletproof vests. We got awarded $1,889.36 to that program. So just an update on some grants that we received.
Congratulations.
Great, yeah, absolutely.
And that's all I have.
All right. Moving on to the fire district, we also have the Loeb Grant Foundation request for 2016 monies. Is there a motion to direct Chief Kidd to apply for that grant?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Okay. Anything special you want to talk about?
For us, we're gonna be replacing some outdated computers, and we've been phasing that in with the load grant over the last couple of years, so we can use that instead of taxpayer dollars to do it.
Okay. Very good. Also, we have a monthly report for the fire district. Chief, anything particular you want to point out?
I'd like to put out a thanks to my engine committee that selected our new rescue truck and engine. We're getting ready to push it in here in the next, hopefully week. I'll send out an email to everyone to invite you for our push-in. It's just, it's a ceremonial thing to bring it for its first day in service. It's not a real big deal. It takes about 5 minutes. It's just basically to wish it well for the 20 years in service.
Excellent. Very good. Anybody have any questions of the chief of his monthly report? Anything else from the fire district?
I have three other things for you. The first is tomorrow, the candidate Chad Capozzi that did not move forward because of a medical testing issue, he'll complete his testing tomorrow, and we'll be seeking permission to allow him to start on Wednesday if he successfully passes the test tomorrow. He's already been given the conditional offer, it's just simply waiting for him to pass that test.
Okay. We can swear him in at the next meeting. We just want to be able to make sure he goes on training program or on the program with all those guys that came in.
Right, they started today, and this will put him a couple of days behind, but it's very labor intensive to go through the month's training process and only have one individual. If we put him off an additional 2 weeks, it costs us more money.
I don't think there's any need to do that. I'm sure we can make that all work out.
We
That's
won't
right,
know,
Counselor? We can do that.
we won't know for sure until he does the follow-up test, but if he does pass, we'd probably have to backdate his hire date and get him going on Wednesday if that's possible.
Haven't we already hired him contingent on passing the physical?
Well, you've given him a conditional offer of employment contingent on him passing the physical. The next piece is the actual hiring of him when the physical's in hand and you have no more questions. The oath is just the pomp and circumstance portion of it.
Okay.
So you'd have to backdate the hire
We'll have to backdate
piece
the hire
at the
piece
next
till-
meeting.
till Wednesday.
I've been here 8 years and we've never hired anybody mid-payroll, and that's what that would be. So we would just prorate him, right?
He would not get paid for Monday and Tuesday. His
Right.
pay would not start until Wednesday, so he'd get deducted 2 days worth of pay.
I'm just wondering, does that do anything with OPNF or anything else?
I'll have to make sure I give you a special note on his hours,
Okay.
so he doesn't, whatever we do, they're gonna question it.
I understand, and I'm trying to be proactive and thinking of all the bad things that'll happen to us when we do this, so,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, he just let us know
Okay.
late today that was even scheduled and possible.
Good.
He's been working very hard to rectify the issue to make sure he could get in for testing and try to move forward, so.
Okay.
The other two items, October 3rd from 12 to 5, we'll have our annual open house to kick off Fire Prevention Week. So please, October 3rd, 12 to 5. We'd love to see you all up there. Should be an entertaining time as always with the burn house and everything else that goes on there. Care Flight will be there, and we'll have lots of displays. Kids usually really enjoy it.
Do you need any help on a grill or anything? I don't mind going, but just
Well,
you just
yeah.
stand around, if I can get stuck on a
You
grill
know,
or
I
something.
think Mark wants to roast
Yeah,
hot
roast hot
dogs,
dogs.
if you want to give him a hand.
Oh, I'd be happy to, just put me down.
Great.
That's a Saturday?
Yes, sir.
You guys usually do it on a Sunday?
We usually do it on a Sunday.
Okay.
We're trying to start off the very first day of Fire Prevention Week is that Saturday, so we're trying to launch the week. It's more consistent with other fire departments and how they're starting off with Prevention Week.
I'm sorry, I'm going to belabor a point here, but we have not hired Chad, correct? Don't we need to
Correct.
hire him before he can start on Wednesday?
I think so.
That's what I'm questioning, if you can backdate the hire.
I would
Why don't we?
At the next
prefer to
meeting.
hire him.
Why can't we hire him subject to him passing the physical?
Well, you've made your conditional offer
Go ahead.
I have a
Make your
problem,
conditional
here's my
offer.
problem, I have a problem issuing a paycheck to somebody that we have not officially hired. So that's just me, and if my counselor is telling me, get over it, I can get over it, but to do a paycheck for somebody that we don't, it's not one of our employees, seems weird.
It's typical practice just to have the officer sworn in and then off they go and you pay them from that date forward.
The next step, you have the conditional offer when you select your
Right.
candidates, only contingent on the final physical, which you don't have them do until you offer them. The practice has been an actual hire date, that the trustees approved as a subsequent action. And that's the final piece, and that's what we haven't done yet with it.
Why can't we approve why can't we make a motion now to approve a hiring date of Wednesday, subject to the passing of the physical? If he doesn't pass the physical, he doesn't
That's what,
start.
I would feel better, I'm not saying it's
I don't know, that
different, but it
makes-
just
that-
makes me feel better.
Makes me feel better too.
Makes me feel better.
That's, yeah,
As long as it works.
not- yeah,
I'll go.
Are you good with that?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
good, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I.
3 out of 4 is not bad.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I think it's a good motion.
I think that is a good motion too.
I can't repeat it, but.
It's all right.
I can write it, so if you just wanna do it, I'm good with it.
What's his name?
Chad Capozzi, right?
Yes.
Oh, I did write that down. So, Chad Capozzi. Okay, is there a motion to hire Chad Capozzi, as a probationary career firefighter paramedic, effective tomorrow, subject to.
Wednesday.
The 16th.
excuse me,
Yeah, there you go.
Subject to, passing his physical.
Yeah, whatever, okay.
That's all that's left.
Okay.
Ms.
second,
Mr. Mearspaugh?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's good.
And the last item I have is informational. We're trying to find out if we have a blown engine on a medic unit, or if it is a pump. They're taking pieces down one at a time, trying to get us to the cheapest fix. I don't have any cost estimate at this point. We know that it could be up to $15,000 to buy a refurbished engine. The vehicle still has much value to it. It's only a 2009. I've been in contact with the manufacturer and the assembler of the vehicle to try to get some help from them because it has not been out of warranty very long. And this just happened, but so far they're not very receptive to helping us outside the warranty period.
How much is not very long?
6 months.
Really? What kind of engine is it?
It's a medium-duty Freightliner engine, so it's basically a school bus engine.
So do you know, did they talk to Freightliner or just to the assembler?
Both.
I'd probably write a letter yourself to Freightliner, or actually, why don't you guys put a letter together for us to sign? And I put in there that we've been buying Freightliner engines for some time, and we absolutely believe that we should have some kind of help with this. You never know. I would do it though, I'd press the issue, find out who the president of the company is.
Okay.
We'll send it to him. Put all the details in it, number of miles, all that. That's how many miles is on it?
This one only has in the mid-70s.
Wow. That's a $500,000 engine, or it should be.
Well, we expect Frontline to get 100,000 and then reserve status to try to get another 50,000 out of it. So, I mean,
The way you guys run them is hard on them, but they're running up and down the road.
it doesn't have half the life that we expect that vehicle to give us.
Yeah. Gosh, that's not good. I would send a letter and, begging them for that kind of money. Okay. Okay, that's number 3.
That's it,
I was
I'm
gonna say
done.
strike 3, but that's, didn't really mean that. Okay, zoning department.
Good evening, sir.
new public relations officer apparently.
All right, so I have a couple draft resolutions for nuisances. The first one is 4759. This is dealing with the property that had a recent fire, and the neighbors have been mowing the front yard with the backyard. They've not mowed, and they're requesting it get abated through nuisance. So that's your first one on primrose.
Okay, is there any questions on 4759 for Jeff? Is there a motion to approve 4759?
So moved. Sorry. Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And then we've got 4760.
Yeah, this is the hard corner of State Route 48 and 73, the CVS corner, to the southeast corner. They have done a bush hog of it, but we've had a couple business leaders in the area who we put through nuisances who requested it be done to the standards that they've had as opposed to the bush hog. So we'll put it back there.
Yes. So a motion to approve 4760.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And we also have 4761.
And this is Lot 2 of Magnolia Farms. Trustee meeting ago or two, it was before you, they bush hogged it. They either had dull blades or knocked over the Johnson grass with the tires because it is over the 18 inches and the neighbor is throwing fit, so I'm gonna put it back.
Okay, so a motion to approve 4761.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Okay. And we have the monthly report.
Yeah, I can answer any questions about the monthly. There's an interesting article that Jack forwarded to me that we're getting some press dumping. Warren County is up in permits, and Butler County is up in permits, and some comparisons. And if they would take August numbers instead of June numbers, we would be beating Liberty Township in that article, but that's where we're at, so.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any? Yes.
We have a resolution over here called 4762.
4062 is pulled, or should have been pulled.
Okay. Good enough.
That one got abated, so, sorry about that, thank you.
No worries.
Okay. Any questions for Jeff with his monthly report? Thank you.
Actually, I do
Do
have
you
to
have
add on
something
if I
additional?
could. Yeah, it seems like it's a good thing to do.
Becoming a theme.
We got a property owner's home last week, and he was going to make this meeting, but has not, that's why I was waiting. Ultimately, he has a automatic pool cover. This is something we discussed in 2000. Is it appropriate to be in lieu of a fence or not? I said I have new trustees since that point in time. If it's something that you wanted to pursue, then we could go forth with a text change and have that as formal discussion. If it's something that I said it is what it is, that's where we're gonna be. So I just wanted to kind of gauge. His situation is a little bit unique in which typically when we have a fence go around a swimming pool, the pool is out in the middle of the yard, you put the fence there, you put the fence, and it connects with the house. He actually has a wraparound porch, which then, in the way in which you can enter to the gate of where the new fence would be, you're actually a foot taller because of the porch than you would be where the fence. So a couple different conglomerations or modifications of fencing like could come into play. Really, that's probably a more appropriate text changes for us to kind of clarify when we have decks interacting with above ground pools or decks interacting with gates, what's the minimum distance that we should go and the like. But the thumbnail for this evening was think about that element, and if that's something that you say, okay, that's worthy of exploring, well, let me know at the next meeting. Or
Is his, let me ask a couple questions.
Sure, sir.
Well, first of all, I think we should absolutely explore it. Things change, and this could be something that we could change in our code that could be a benefit to a property owner with that type of pool cover.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a pool cover that, I'm sure it has some kind of rating, so if 500 pounds or 2,000 pounds gets on it?
yeah, I don't know its proper rating, but it is the automatic with the key in the tracks. It's not just something someone throws on top, so it would have a rating specification on it.
I think that as you work on that, you might want to make sure that that number of the weight it will hold will be significant.
Okay.
In case somebody has a party and a bunch of people, and if somebody's on vacation, and there's one.
And part of, in today's preparation, went out to different websites looking at what others have been doing. Warren County has kind of gone out on the bleeding edge of this so to
Warren
speak.
County,
Yeah,
the county.
Warren County
zoning
rural zoning
department?
has allowed those to exist without any additional minimums. There's been discussion that historically has occurred of, okay, if you have a minimum acreage threshold, or you have a minimum distance from property line to the water's edge, that may be something when we start talking with the pool people, and it's basically, they've done it as an option, as valid as a 4-foot fence. But they're the, almost the lone wolf out there.
I think the only thing that might be a problem is if they forget to close it, and then it's a pool with no fence.
That was truly the debate that occurred back last time we did the update, and at that point in time, this body said, okay, really, let's put some perimeter barrier that will be the first line of defense. But let's say that is what exists underneath today. So,
I guess my thoughts as well would be to Ed's point, to a degree, that these things are out in the baking sun. A fence holds up a little bit differently than an automatic cover that has wear on it. So if it has a 500-pound rating, I'm sure there's an expiration date on that rating based on the quality of the product that it's made of.
no, those are good questions.
Yeah, then it's just a pool with no fence, exactly. So.
Lots of things to be considered there. I know that some areas, I think Wayne Township, if your lot size and you're away from property lines so far, they don't care if you have a fence. Quite honestly, Springburg doesn't either. If you have a large lot and it can't be seen and really nobody knows it's there, they don't care if they have a fence.
Well, that's why I bring it back to you guys' attention to see if it's something that pays as a benefit to the community to do further exploration. So I'll spend some time on it. If it's something that no matter what we do, you guys are pretty well.
I would entertain looking at some changes personally. I think that.
I would as well, yeah.
Exploration?
I think I've seen at the Farm Science Review that they have a pool cover like this that 2,000-pound steer can go across.
Okay.
It's got wire mesh. It's got wire mesh built in.
Something you don't see every day.
No.
He's gonna be one let's keep on.
All right, that's cool, all that.
Well, I've had a couple of friends that had to come to you and get their permits, and they put up temporary fencing, and, you know.
And sometimes it continues, and sometimes it doesn't, and these are all things that, at the end of the day, if we can find a better way, may benefit more. All right, cool. Well then, it'll be something that'll be coming forth. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You only have one.
I only have one, sir. Yes, I'm done.
Okay. Okay, road department. Just recommendation, yes, sir.
Yeah, we're just trying to extend the life of the walking trails we have out there. I believe it comes out to about 10 cents a square foot. And he's actually gonna brush it on instead of spray it on to make sure we can get it in the cracks and all the crevices. And we replaced some large sections of that a few years back, if you remember, so we're gonna get it sealed this time and try to extend the life of that a little bit. We had 5,000 budgeted, so we came in just under, so.
Excellent. Okay, is there a motion to grant this purchase for sealing the paths at Trish Allen Park?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yeah. And monthly report, anything special?
Just a couple things I'd like to bring up is, in the last 5 years, we've done about 10 to 12 ditches a year. This year we've done 37 already and have 14 still on the list, and it continues to build. So just to give you an idea, I don't know if it was from the rain early this year or what, but how busy we've been doing the ditches. And then if you've been on Bunnell Hill or part of Pekin or Harlan Road, you've noticed the big signs that have been going up, the warning signs. They really stand out at night if you've been out at night, especially the chevrons on the turns. So you'll continue to see those pop up as much as we can get on them, every chance we get.
I think they're really nice. Very helpful.
Scott, was that the grant program, those signs?
Yeah, it's all the signs you see going up are all from the grant.
Excellent.
Is that reflectivity grant? Is that the one?
Well, no, the grant's not for specific reflectivity, it's just for enhance safety in areas that have, you know, had wrecks or incidents in the past, which is basically all of our mains.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Scott or any comments? Okay, moving on to staff updates. Anybody have anything additional, Jack?
I just have 6 things.
Okay, I'll check those off.
No, I don't. I don't have any additional, but I will say, Larry Budd had sent me a note and asked if I could talk tomorrow or the next day about the aggregation, so I think he's gonna
Oh, good.
make a point of putting something in the paper or gaining some knowledge about it and then running something about it, which would be helpful to get the information out.
Okay, excellent. Anything else? Anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yeah.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.